Hey folks, Duke here with Mayo Moto. This is my KTM 350. This is my trauma kit that I put together to carry out in the woods. Let's have a look at what's inside of it. Last weekend, my buddy Adam from Green Chili Adventure Gear invited me to go down to Florida for the Dixie Dual Sport Devil's Creek event. Pretty rad. Rode around in the sand. Got muddy, had a good time, talked to a lot of people. I had my bike set up at his booth so that he could show off some of his Green Chili Adventure gear. Maybe we'll talk about that later. But one thing that got a lot of attention was my little tank bag here. I've got a first aid Red Cross on it, so everybody immediately knew that it was medical. And I showed this to a lot of people, and it occurred to me that y'all might be interested to know what's in it. So I wanted a medical kit that was small enough that I didn't have an excuse not to carry it, and also small enough to live in a small tank bag like this or in a tail bag. Don't want to put it in the panniers because if I'm injured, might not be able to pick up my bike. In a perfect world, I'd repack this, make it lay flat, wear it on a chest rig or something so I can't get separated from it, but this is what I've got for now. This is a North American Rescue MFAC, and I've added some items to it. So first and foremost, if you only carry one thing, I would say a tourniquet is probably the way to go. For like emergency life-saving care that most folks can do without a lot of training is controlling the bleeding. Beyond that, there's a few things you can do. You could stabilize fractures, make someone more comfortable, but really, if you can control bleeding, you can do a lot to help someone who's in real bad shape. So tourniquet is the first thing, arguably the most important. And then for less severe bleeds, I have an emergency trauma dressing. This is basically just a long piece of ace bandage with some gauze on it. So if you have an extremity bleed or something that doesn't warrant a tourniquet, you put the gauze of this onto the wound and you wrap it up with ace bandage. Also, since it's got that ace bandage element to it, you can use it for normal ace bandage things, help stabilize sprains or whatever, just some versatility there. And then the next thing for controlling the bleeding is some S-rolled gauze. This is 4.5 inches and about 12 feet of gauze. So this little thing, there's a lot of gauze in here. You can use it to pack wounds, make head dressings, whatever. The next thing that I've got to show you is some trauma shears. If somebody's real jacked up and you think they're bleeding a lot and it might be a problem for them, you need to be able to see the wound. So if that means cutting off some expensive rotting pants, it's a lot better than watching them bleed out in front of you. The next thing, Mylar blanket. When someone's injured, even if it's not really cold, the risk of shock is very real. So Mylar blanket, if you wrap them up in a Mylar blanket, better safe than sorry. Triangle bandage, this is basically just a big piece of, it's like a big old bandana. You can use it to tie up things or make an improvised sling. It's just a bandana and a couple safety pins. You can use it for a lot of stuff. I also carry a nasopharyngeal Airway. This is just a silicone tube, some silicone grease. You can use it to keep someone's airway open, stick it in their nose, help keep them breathing. This is a size 28 French. They come in all different sizes. 28 French is kind of the standard, fits most adults. If you're riding with children, maybe get a smaller one, maybe carry two. And then the final thing is chest seals. These are basically just saran wrap, or a piece of clear plastic with adhesive all the way around it except for one corner. So if you had a puncture wound in the chest, when your diaphragm moves down, instead of air rushing in through your airway and into your lungs, your diaphragm may well just move down and suck air through that hole. That's called a sucking chest wound. It is bad news bears. Lung can collapse. One of these can go a long way to help help buy some time if someone has a puncture wound to their thoracic cavity. These generally come in packs of 2, so I have 2 of them. I think that's it. Oh, one more thing. I don't always carry this, but if I'm on a bigger bike or if I have a bag and I have space, this is a SAM splint. Fractures are pretty common on motorbikes, and a splint can go a long way in making someone more comfortable. Or if they have, say, like a spiral fracture on their leg, which is a fairly common injury, the less it moves around, the better off they're going to be. The less damage can happen from sharp bones cutting into things. So a SAM splint is pretty useful. This is a 36 inch. It's about as short as I'd want to go. Motorcycle boot does a pretty good job of stabilizing the ankle, but you can always bang this on there, wrap it up with the ace bandage. Something else I always have that's not in the kit is tape. I carry Tessa tape. This is kind of like electrical tape, but it's that OEM fabric back stuff. I carry this for electrical repairs and just general use. And if I need this, I can dig into it for medical uses too. I always have like half a roll. I don't carry a full roll like this. But that's it. That's what's in my med kit. I'm on the East Coast, so I'm never terribly far away from a Dollar General or a gas station. So if I need Band-Aids or burn cream or Neosporin, alcohol, those kinds of things, I'm never super far away from those. This is the stuff that when you need it right then, and waiting 5 minutes might not be an option. So this is what I'm comfortable carrying for local rides or East Coast stuff. If I were going to be out west, or like I've got a buddy, they're going to Baja, he was talking about putting together a med kit. In that scenario, I would carry all this, and then I would carry some of the less severe stuff that you would normally find in first aid kits. But that's it. Thanks for watching.